Hello, everyone. Devin here, welcoming you back to Devin's English Connection. Hopefully, you have already viewed my introductory video and are all set to delve into the 10 types of social work that we can engage in to strengthen our communities. I've learned quite a bit since posting that first video, including how to add closed captioning. And so I've done that here, plus sped up my speech for a more natural example. Additionally, the main points of today's topic are written on this dry erase board. Let's get started. Please keep in mind that the following social work categories do have some overlap. Number 1, start small. Begin with simple actions like helping a neighbor or a friend. Extensive effort is not required for your actions to be meaningful. In fact, little things often positively impact the lives of those who need them the most. Examples would be taking up a neighbor's trash bins from the curb after collection and returning them to where they belong, or cooking for a sick friend. This approach to social work is a good option for anyone. Most of us are quite busy, so it is the rare human who will be available to engage in social work 40 hours plus per week. Dipping your toe into the social work reservoir is fine. Do not forget to dip that toe often, though. Instead of setting unreasonable goals for ourselves, it is more important to get into the habit of assisting others with little things. Often, these little things we do add up and eventually turn into big things. They create ripples that spread farther than we can see. So remember that every effort counts, and collective actions can lead to substantial positive change. In America, the starfish story is the standard call to duty, illustrating that each life you touch matters, even if it is only one. This story is an adaptation of a 16-page essay originally entitled The Star Thrower by Loren Eiseley. The essay was first published in 1969 in a collection of his entitled The Unexpected Universe. But the version of the story I was first introduced to, and the one most people are familiar with, is very short and goes something like this. One day, an old man was walking along the beach when he noticed a boy off in the distance, picking something up along the shore and gently tossing it into the ocean. Approaching the boy, he asked, "What are you doing?" The boy replied, "Throwing starfish back into the ocean. The surf is up and the tide is going out. If I don't throw them back, they'll die." "Son," the man said, "don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds of starfish? You can't make a difference." After listening politely, the boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it back into the surf. Then, smiling up at the man, he said, "I made a difference for that one." So the moral is clear. You may not be able to change the entire world, but at least you can make things better for someone. I just want to interject something here that I have never heard discussed by folks who repeat the starfish story. For me, the extended moral of the tale points directly back to what I have already stated in video 1 about anyone being able to learn from anyone. Everyone you meet is both teacher and student. Just because the man in this story is older does not mean he cannot learn new ways of thinking. And just because the boy is younger, it does not mean that he has not attained a certain level of wisdom. I myself have been so fortunate that at least half of my best teachers have been younger than I. My outlook on life is more positive and varied because of it. I am better able to adapt to change because of the teachings of the young people in my life. I am less fearful and more hopeful about our future as a species because of them, and I am grateful. Number 2, volunteer. Devote time to a local organization such as a charity or community group that you feel connected to. Examples would be a food bank, animal welfare charities, women and children's charities, or veterans charities. Nonprofit volunteering offers countless opportunities to learn about all kinds of people. Working with other volunteers, adjacent organizations, and individuals one serves not only leads to a better understanding of the world around us, but also helps us to home in on and explore our own core values, priorities, deficits, traumas, triggers, work ethic, gifts, and ultimately our why. Some become instantly passionate about nonprofit work. This passion can lead to burnout, though, if unable to adopt a reasonable pace. It is crucial to remember that the work is ongoing and infinite, and adjust oneself accordingly. Truthfully, it is the rare nonprofit volunteer who chooses to stay in the same place for years on end. But as a practical learning environment, a nonprofit's lessons are virtually unlimited and valuable enough to set the course of a young person's journey. Much like entering college with a major in mind and then switching to something else once one discovers that something else exists, the process of volunteering can lead to unexpected discoveries or ideas that can make a more fulfilling future possible. Number 3, skill-based volunteering. Extend your professional expertise to nonprofits. For example, grant writing, accounting, legal assistance, or web design. I myself have spent time writing and photographing events for nonprofits. Was I the best writer and photographer? Not by a long shot, but I did effectively chronicle the work being done. Being the best is not strictly necessary for every skill-based opportunity, though your legal team should know what it is doing. Showing up reliably and consistently is what is most important. If you are reliable and consistent, you will grow. Continuous improvement comes from learning, and learning comes from doing. So, practicing our skills increases our proficiency while benefiting those we serve. The contributions of the skill-based volunteer tend to be narrower in scope than those of other volunteers. Many of these pros stay in their own lanes. And that is not to say that volunteers who do not come with a specific certification or degree or professional expertise are less important than those skill-based volunteers. A certain amount of skill is required to cook a good meal or to forge a purposeful relationship with someone who is struggling. Flexibility is needed to tackle the vast considerations that must be undertaken with most community initiatives. Working together within a community sometimes requires a willingness to step outside of our comfort zones and into positions we do not know much about, and then doing the best we can. And occasionally our flexibility is rewarded with the discovery of a passion that changes the trajectory of our lives. Number 4, join a nonprofit. Seek employment or an internship, either paid or unpaid, with an organization that benefits social causes. An internship can give you an idea about whether a cause-driven career is for you. However, it can also be a valuable work experience, even if nonprofit work is not your ultimate aim. By working with a team for a meaningful cause, you can discover firsthand the difference your work makes in the organization and the community it serves. That experience will be of benefit to you in any career you should pursue going forward. Vital leadership lessons are there for the taking in nonprofit settings. Number 5, community service. Take part in local events such as assisting the elderly, feeding the homeless, or participating in community cleanups. One of my favorite quotes that one could apply to community service comes from Bill Nye, perhaps best known for the role he played in the 90s hit TV program Bill Nye the Science Guy. He is still a science educator today and leading voice for combating climate change. He famously said, "To leave the world better than you found it, sometimes you have to pick up other people's trash." Besides cleaning up trash, though, you could participate in Doggy Day at the retirement home or read to children at the library. For Florida high school seniors to graduate, they must fulfill a community service requirement, and this varies by school district, and certain programs require extra, but generally the hours are somewhere between 20 and 100. Additionally, those who have broken our laws in America are often ordered to fulfill community service hours as a means of restitution. The idea behind this is that by performing unpaid work in our communities, they can atone for the harm they have caused. I personally have worked hand in hand with both students and offenders. Each opportunity was a rewarding community building experience for me. Number 6, advocate. Raise awareness about human or animal rights or social justice issues. Collecting petition signatures or participating in campaigns are good examples of this particular type of social work. Number 7, online activism. Use social media to educate about a particular need. This can lead to raising money for said need or supporting online communities. When I helped to teach English as a second language on Facebook, it was this type of social work. Number 8, mentor. Share your expertise or experience with someone who needs guidance. Pretty self-explanatory. Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America is an example of that particular type of social work. I myself enjoy the relative anonymity that can often be the case with mentoring. With adult to adult mentoring, few, if any, outside of the personal relationship need to be involved. Mentoring fosters a deeper connection between individuals than many other types of social work. This aspect may be appealing to some, but may feel overwhelming to others due to the intense sense of personal obligation that can arise from the connection. To me, the idea of mentoring is, listen, I'm going to do this for and with you because I believe in your ability to elevate with just a bit of help. And when you get the opportunity to pay it forward, I know you will. Or I want to help you because I know that nobody gets through this life all by themselves. I myself have benefited from a hand up now and again, and so I wish to pay it forward. One can easily see how this type of one-on-one approach can teach personal responsibility, strengthening community one person at a time. We need each other. Rugged individualism is a harmful myth that must be debunked. Number 9, donate. This is easy. Contribute money or tangible items to reputable organizations or causes. And number 10, fundraise. With this type of social work, you would organize initiatives, drives, or events to raise money for a cause. Black tie galas, auctions, and community fairs are examples of this type of work. One type of social work is not inherently better than another type of social work. What is important is that we do our own work well. Emphasis has been placed on this basic tenet in most ancient religious texts. From the Bible, 1 Corinthians 15:58 says, in part, "Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord." In other words, it is important for us to be dedicated and committed to our tasks and not give up easily. The Quran also emphasizes the importance of doing one's work well and encourages us to strive for excellence in our endeavors. The Quran specifically instructs us to do good deeds and states that good deeds are rewarded. I have said that participation in social work of various types can be great leadership training. We must create strong, competent leaders because we cannot effectively strengthen our communities without them. Our sons and our daughters have been assigned the responsibilities of healing our planet, easing our divisions, and securing our future as a species. Elders, as more experienced beings, are tasked with guiding them to the best of our ability. But remember the starfish story. We must also understand that old ways alone are not going to fix New World problems. We have had our shot at handing the younger generations a healthier planet than what we inherited from our parents and grandparents. We have either been unable or unwilling to do so. Because of this failure, we must forfeit our tendency towards nonstop speaking. We have now reached the point where we must also be willing to take a back seat and listen. A good many of our young folks know exactly where we need to go. They just require our support to get there. And with that, I will sign off. Until next time, when we will discuss leadership. Please do remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share this message.